Hey guys, welcome back to another Marvel Champions gameplay video. I'm Earth Twister, and I'm excited to be bringing you She-Hulk in Expert versus Tigra in Aggression. Now, I have played both of these before, although I have not played Tigra in Aggression yet. I used Tigra in Protection, and I joined my brother Jason Sketch and our friend Levi Lewis, and we took She-Hulk. We took on She-Hulk in a multiplayer game, so it was a little bit different, and we'll see how it goes solo this time. But I'm excited to try Tigra out in the aspect that she came with. We'll see how it goes. I created my own deck. Let's do a little bit of setup here. We went ahead and got superhuman strength out as per instruction, and now her health is set to 20. She does not have toughness, and my health is set to 10, which is lower than I had with Hulkling, so I'm kind of a little sad about that. So we've done the setup here. The enemy team finds a copy of Superhuman Strength and attaches it to She-Hulk, so she gets that. So first attack will be for 5 plus a boost. And then setup here says the enemy team finds the choosing side schemes, and your team reveals it in cooperative mode. Find the chosen leader's side scheme and reveal it. So we will find her side scheme, which is legal practice. So now that that's out there, let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck, and we'll get things rolling. So I'm kind of excited about this. I remember playing through last time and just having a little bit of fun with Tigra. She was great in protection, which was interesting to me. And we'll just see how well she flows in aggression. We've got several cards that are going to allow us to hit hard, but I think we've also got some good things that will allow us to deal with threat. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to say that this is shuffled up pretty well. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and shuffle up our deck. While we do that, we go ahead and flip this over. It does not have a forced response. It says if there is more than one player on your team, this stage gains hinder 2. But the effect that it has is that it gives the enemy leader steady, so I can't confuse or stun She-Hulk without 2 status cards. Of course, it comes in with 0 threat, but this first side scheme comes in with 3. And it does have an alter ego response, where I have to flip down to alter ego and exhaust my identity to remove 3 threat from it, because threat can't be removed from the scheme by heroes or allies. I feel like we have the player deck shuffled up pretty well here. All right, so undercover work, search my deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted and add it to my hand. That is my action. I'm going to go ahead and draw my starting hand, which is a hand size of 6. So we get Hunted, Precinct HQ, which is actually going to be helpful for this, wow, my brain is not working, for that side scheme. Spoiling for a fight, another copy of Hunted, another copy of Spoiling for a fight, and Savage Strike. I know that this is going to be kind of good for Tigra, but I don't think I'm ready for... I mean, I can at least get rid of Hunted, get rid of 1 copy of Hunted, Savage Strike, and then we'll go ahead, and I'm not really ready for the readies, I guess. I guess that could actually... No, I'm not ready for those either. So we'll get rid of those. And then we'll go ahead and draw 4 more cards. So we get Nick Fury, Aggressive Conditioning, another Savage Strike, so that's 5, and the Power of Aggression. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and use my action, so I can search my deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted and add it to my hand. So we'll do that. And I think, let's see, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put it into play engaged with you. Attach Hunted to that minion and stun it. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and use Hunted to search for a minion. And let's see. So it just gets put into play. So we'll go ahead and grab the shield operator. And shuffle this a little bit. And I don't know why I discarded Hunted, because now that's attached to him. and he will get... Wait. Oh, but patrol is off the main scheme. So I think we'll be okay with that. So hunted will sit on the shield operator there. And then he gets stunned. So he won't be able to attack this next turn, which will be good. And then I'm going to use hunted again. And we'll go ahead and grab the other shield operator, which again, he's not revealed. He is just put into play and he's stunned. He does have patrol, so we'll have to be careful. There we go. Dang, that means precinct. So precinct HQ is going to be a priority here. So I know Nick Fury is a really great card, and I'm probably making a mistake here. But we're going to use these as 2 resources to pay for Precinct HQ. I get to exhaust Precinct HQ and remove a threat from a scheme. Then I get to remove 1 additional threat for each minion engaged with me. So I'm going to exhaust this and remove all 3 threat from legal practice. So that gets defeated right off the bat, which is super great. Won't have that acceleration token. And then what I will do is flip up. And I can defend for 3. They lose guard, which is fine. I can't afford to pay for aggressive conditioning, so we're going to wait for aggressive conditioning. And I think, because the shield operators are fine, we'll go ahead and just swing at She-Hulk for 2. So after an alter ego changes to hero form, deal 1 damage to that hero. So I do get dropped down to 9, but she gets dropped down to 17. I'll keep these 2 cards in hand, and we'll draw up to a hand size of 5 and ready. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I do have my threat removal card. Combat training, tooth and claw. And then, yeah, so great. Threat will go up by 1. She-Hulk is going to attack for 5 plus a boost. It's pretty intense. I'm going to defend for 3. So 5, no boost. So I just take 2. We discard superhuman strength. These 2 are stunned. We get an encounter card. Justice like lightning. Each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. Otherwise, the enemy leader activates against you. Do not give it a boost card. So I take 4 more points of damage. I'm glad I defended, because that would have been the end of me in like turn 1. All right. So now it's my turn. I have a response that says, after the player phase begins, draw a card for each minion engaged with you. So I draw 2 cards. I get Moon Knight. After Moon Knight enters play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put it into play engaged with you, stun and confuse it. Death Focus is great. I'm going to go ahead and use the Power of Aggression and Tooth and Claw as 3 resources to pay for aggressive conditioning. It's going to give me +1 hit point, or +3 hit points and +1 attack. So I go up to 6 here. Tooth and Claw would have been able to... You know what? Instead of Tooth and Claw, I will have used Feline Senses. Because now Tooth and Claw is 2. So I'm going to use Combat Training to pay for Death Focus. If I want to do that, hold on. Combat Training will pay for Moon Knight. So I get to search the encounter deck and discard power from minion and put them into play. They get stunned and confused. So she can come in. She's not revealed. She just gets put into play. And she's going to get stunned and confused. All right. Oh, and then shoot, I messed that up. Oh well. I really wanted to get def focus down. But this is kind of cool. So def focus is going to be one resource. This, I reduce the cost to play this event for each minion engaged with me. By one for each minion engaged with me. So we will go ahead and use one resource to pay for it because I have 3 minions engaged. We're going to defeat the shield operator. That's going to ready me. And then when attached minion is defeated, ready Tigra. So I get readied from that. And then I deal another 4 damage, which we're going to send at She-Hulk. Takes her down to 13. And then I'm going to swing here at the other shield operator. I'm dealing 3 damage, so that defeats him. And I get to ready. And then I will flip down and heal for 3, bringing me back up to 9. And Precinct HQ will remove the threat there. Moon Knight, good old Moon Knight, is going to go ahead and swing at Songbird for 2. All right, that's looking good so far. We'll go ahead and ready and draw up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get Tooth and Claw, Iron Lad, another Tooth and Claw, Savage Strike, Winter Soldier, and Cat's Head Amulet. Threat will go up by 1. She-Hulk will scheme for 1. Just 1. We were very fortunate there. So that goes up to 2. Songbird is confused. And we get an encounter card. Taskmaster. Retaliate 1. Toughness and Villainous. This is unfortunate. So when he comes in, he's going to activate. So he's going to scheme for 1, 2. So this goes up to 4. Yeah, I kind of need to play Savage Strike here because that's going to defeat him in 1 hit. But I have to be able to make a basic attack. I'm going to go ahead and use my action to grab a copy of Hunted from the discard pile. Search the encounter deck and discard pile from minion and put it into play engage with you. So we'll go ahead and play Hunted. We'll go ahead and grab back our friendly shield operators. They'll come in and be stunned. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust the Precinct HQ, which allows me to remove 1 threat from a scheme and then 1 additional threat for each minion engaged. So I have 3 minions engaged, so I get to remove 4 threat. That's nice. Tooth and Claw cards are super cheap right now. Let's see. That's going to be a big deal. So I'm going to use both my allies here, Iron Lad and Winter Soldier, to pay for Cat's Head Amulet. So I can exhaust this to generate a resource for each minion engaged with me. And I have 3. I'm going to go ahead and flip up. When I do that, I take a damage from She-Hulk. And then I'm going to use Cat's Head Amulet to generate 3 physical resources to pay for Savage Strike. I'm going to attack for 9 on Taskmaster. He's going to get defeated. This attack gains piercing, so it goes through the toughness, and he takes 9 points of damage, which defeats him. All right, so now I can't pay for either of these, which is unfortunate. Can't ready with Tigra. Moon Knight actually shouldn't be exhausted. But both of those minions are stunned, and I did forget to, well, no, because I was in Alter Ego. Let's go ahead and ready. And then we'll draw up to 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay. There goes up by 1. She-Hulk will attack for 3 plus a boost. Moon Knight's going to defend. 3. I get stunned, which is actually super unfortunate. But that does defeat Moon Knight. These two are stunned. And encounter card, Deadly Duo. Hinder 1 per player, and then when defeated, each player discards the top 8 cards of their deck. But I have to defeat it before I can remove that threat. Comes in with 4 threat. Okay. Excuse me. My response allows me to draw a card for each minion engaged with me. So we get a full body charge. And another full body charge. Okay. I'm going to exhaust to remove my stunned. Cat's Head Amulet is going to generate 2 resources, and Tooth and Claw is going to be is only going to cost 2 because of these 2 being engaged with me. So I get to deal 4 damage to the shield operator. So Hunted goes to my discard pile. Shield operator gets discarded. Tiger gets ready. I'm going to go ahead and thwart 1 here, bringing it down to 3. Genius is going to pay for Feline Senses to remove 3 threat from a scheme. When defeated, each player discards the top 8 cards of their deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here go Sharp Claws. And then I get to stun a minion, so that means Songbird is stunned again. That was fine. I still have a minion engaged with me. These are going to be 3 resources to pay for Tooth and Claw. To deal 4 damage to She-Hulk. Takes her down to 9. And another 4 damage to She-Hulk. Takes her down to 5. I'll hold on to this, well, I'll hold on to the full body charge. And I'll stay up this turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 1. She-Hulk attacks for 3 plus a boost. I'll defend for 3. 3, 4. I take 1 point of damage. Songbird is stunned. Encounter card. Ooh, Shadows of the Past. The Hood is going to come in. And come in with Criminal Underworld. Each criminal minion cannot take damage. So I will have to deal with that threat. Okay, this comes in with 4 threat. Okay, fortunately he does not automatically attack me. Alright, so I do have 2 minions engaged with me, so I get to draw 2 cards. That's only one card. I'm going to use Bring It as a resource to pay for Sharp Claws. Don't have a good way to thwart this thing. So I think we're going to do Spoiling for a Fight. Discard cards from the encounter deck until I get a minion and put that minion in play. We get Madam Mask, which is not good. But I get to ready. I will go ahead and place 2 threat on the criminal world underworld side scheme when revealed. Just put that minion into play engaged, so not when revealed. Okay. Ooh, okay, that was fine. That's good. So threat does not get added. Because I'll have to flip down. I could get the yeah, okay. Cat's Head Amulet will pay for the Helicarrier. And then the Helicarrier and Power of Aggression will pay for 2 Gun Kid. Two Gun Kid is going to attack. And he's going to attack Songbird and She-Hulk. So he'll take 1 consequential and do 2 damage to Songbird, which defeats her. And 2 damage to She-Hulk. Then I will flip down and heal for 3, bringing me back up to 10. Precinct. Oh, dang it. Precinct HQ is just going to remove 3 threat from here, bringing that down to 1. I'm going to discard full body charge, and then we'll draw up to 6. So I get an extra encounter card here. Two, three, four, five, 6. Energy, Cat-like Reflexes, Moon Knight, Sharp Claws, Spoiling for a Fight, and Iron Lad. We're ready. We drew up to 6 already. Threat will go up by 2, so up to 4. It's about to pop. She-Hulk will scheme for 1, 3, 4. So that does pop this. There's no one revealed. This comes in. While the enemy leader is attacking, it gets +1 attack. +2 instead if it's undefended. Madam Mask schemes for 2. The Hood schemes for 1. Deal 2 damage to your leader, otherwise deal 1 damage to a character you control. We'll take the damage. So he just schemes for 1. Okay, that's not terrible. So it is my turn. I'm going to go ahead and search my deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted. And add it to my hand. Always good to at least have extra cards, even if I don't end up using it. All right. Precinct HQ is going to remove the last threat from Criminal Underworld. Helicarrier will pay for Moon Knight. Moon Knight is going to search for a minion. And put it into play, engaged, stunned, and confused. And then energy will pay for Iron Lad. Oh, I did not reveal my encounter cards. So this is the first one. Give the enemy leader and each minion a tough status card. So tough, tough, tough. And then this is 1-2 punch. I was in alter ego, so she would scheme, and she gets a tough. So it's 1, 3, 4. This goes up to 7. Okay, so that was my encounter cards that I missed. So really, I need to do something about the threat rather than so much about the minions. I'm not super worried about the minions. It is the threat that I'm worried about. I'm going to go ahead and flip up here. Going to attack for 2, 3, 4 with piercing on the hood to defeat the hood. And then I'm going to go spoiling for a fight. There goes an advance. Come on, there's got to be a minion in here somewhere. I forgot to take my damage. I will take my damage here in just a minute. There is Jigsaw, so he gets put into play. He has Quick Strike. Now, I will have to look this up real quick. Okay, so once it engages a player, it attacks. So he's going to attack for 2. Okay, well, he'll attack for 2. So I end up taking... I go down to 6 from him, but there's no... The Criminal Underworld is not in play. So he doesn't put any threat on it. All right. So spoiling for a fight is now resolved because I get to ready. I will use... Hunted to pay for cat-like reflexes. And then Cat's Head Amulet will pay for the other Sharp Claws. I'm going to go ahead and attack Madame Mask for 4 with piercing. That defeats Madame Mask. Iron Lad is going to take Moon Knight's Fort and remove 3 threat from the main scheme, dropping it down to 4. He is the one that takes the consequential. Moon Knight does not take consequential. And then 2-Gun Kid is going to activate, knocking the tough off She-Hulk and doing 2 damage to Jigsaw. Okay. I think I'm in a pretty good place. We'll go ahead and ready. Dropped 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 1. Really, as long as we don't get an advance, we are okay. She-Hulk will attack for 3 plus a boost. 2-Gun Kid will defend. 3. She gains Stalwart and +1 scheme. So he took the hit. Songbird is stunned. Jigsaw attacks for 2. I'm going to, when I would take any amount of damage, discard cat-like reflexes, prevent 3 of that damage, and I may confuse a minion engaged with me. So I'm going to prevent the damage he would do to me so he does not deal damage. So he does not damage me. He deals damage but does not damage me. He gets confused. And then we get our encounter card. Mimic move. If Taskmaster is in play, he attacks your leader. Otherwise, give the enemy leader a tough status card and a face down boost. So here's her face down boost and her tough. All right, so my response, I get to draw a card for each minion engaged with me. So that is 2. What I think is going to be fun here is I'm going to go ahead and play Hunted. We'll go back and grab... Madame Mask is fine. She just gets put in play. Then I will bring it. Draw a card for each minion engaged with me. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And then I attack her with piercing. That's good. Iron Lad will again exhaust and remove 3 threat from the main, dropping it down to 2. We're going to generate 3 resources and then use a Bring It to pay for Nick Fury, who's going to draw me 3 more cards. And he's going to thwart 2. Tigra will attack for 2, 3 on Madame Mask. Defeats Madame Mask. I get to ready. Forgot that I could have stunned her. Helicarrier is going to pay for Death Focus. The light is really messing things up. Death Focus and Avengers Mansion will pay for Tooth and Claw. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. Yeah, I paid for 2 resources because I had 2 minions engaged. So deal 4 damage to an enemy. And deal 4 damage to an enemy. Then I want to save Savage Strike for next round because I feel like I'm going to be able to push her over. Yeah, so I'll attack for 2, 3, 4 with piercing. That knocks her toughness off. And she gets dropped. She'll flip. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card, and She-Hulk cannot take damage this turn. Okay, so there's my encounter card. So she can't take damage, so I'm going to use a full body charge to pay for cat-like reflexes. And we'll use Hunted. We'll get Songbird in, and she'll be stunned. Hold on to these, and then we'll drop to 5. 3, 4, 5. Threat will go up by 1. She-Hulk will attack for 3 plus 2 boost. Nick Fury is going to defend. Let's get ready. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you, Nick. And then Songbird is stunned, and we get our encounter card. So the first one is Master Plan. So then we will discard cards until we get a side scheme. Okay, so I dropped our second encounter card. And no side scheme. So Master Plan fizzles. Shuffle up the encounter deck. And get an acceleration token. Oh, and she has 24 health. All right. And then this is Surge and Exhaust My Identity. So I get exhausted, and it surges into Jack-o'-lantern, which causes me to discard the top 3 cards in my deck, and then place threat on the main scheme for each different card type discarded this way. So 2 resources and 1 event. So that's 2 threat. Okay. Now on my turn, I get to draw 2 cards for each minion engaged with me. Songbird is hunted. I am... Total health is 13. Starting hit points, so I would need to have 1 more damage on me. Really not super concerned about the minions. Skill attack. So all of my hand cards. So I could just remove the threat. And then stun a minion. Okay. So Death Focus. It's my only superpower, right? Yeah. So Death Focus and Helicarrier will pay for Feline Senses. I'll get to remove 3 threat from a scheme and then stun a minion. It's going to be Jack-o'-lantern. I guess I'll go Spoiling for a Fight. We get Atlas. And then, of course, he stuns me. No, he gets put into play. He doesn't get revealed. He gets put into play. So he gets put into play, and I just get ready. Okay. No, that's fine. All right. So now... How much damage can I do? I can deal 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. And then have Iron Lad ready me. And deal pretty soon. Okay, so we can try this. I'm going to swing She-Hulk for 2, 3, 4, 5. Generate 3 resources. 1, 2, 3 for Savage Strike. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 6. So it's 11. So I take her from 24 down to 13. Iron Lad is going to take Moon Knight's attack and deal the damage to Songbird that would defeat her. And I get to ready Tigra. Interrupt when attached minion is defeated, ready Tigra. So I get to ready. There. I'll swing for another 3. Nine. So I'm swinging for 9. That takes her down to 4. Leaves a full body charge in my hand. Moon Knight would have been exhausted with Iron Lad. And we have these 2 minions to contend with. I think we're okay. We're ready. I think that would have defeated Iron Lad, though. And we'll draw up to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 2. She-Hulk attacks for 3 plus a boost. I'll defend her attack for 3. So 3. She gets that revealed. I don't really know how this rule works, but I think that since this gets revealed in the middle of her attack, she gets the +2, so she's attacking for 5. I defended for 3, so I'm going to use cat-like reflexes to prevent the damage coming through. And then I'll go ahead and confuse Jack-o'-lantern. And then this would get discarded because that was during that attack. And then Jack-o'-lantern will try to attack, but he's stunned. Atlas would attack for 2. I'll take it. Get an encounter card. Dang it. I think that means I lose. No, it doesn't. Moon Knight's going to defend She-Hulk's attack. 3. And nope, this means that I lose. Because then Atlas will get this. Moon Knight gets defeated. And I can't defend. He attacks for 3. Jack-o'-lantern attacks for 1. And I'm gone. So it didn't matter if I had defended the other attack or this one. But on the next turn, I would have won. Because all I would have had to do was pay for a full body charge. And I could have plowed through either Atlas or Jack-o'-lantern. And then completely annihilated She-Hulk still. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. I played a little too risky because I wanted the overkill, but I just didn't do well on that last turn. Got really unlucky with the cards that we got. Theoretically, I wasn't sure And this would have changed the way things happen. So I wasn't sure if this card got triggered right then. And if not, I wouldn't have discarded my cat-like reflexes. So then I would have saved it for when I was taking 2 damage. So if that didn't get triggered right away, I would still have 2 health. And then I would have used my Cat's Head Amulet and my Power of Aggression to then plow through, say, Jack-o'-lantern here. And do the remaining, it was 8 overkill. Yeah, so I would have had done the remaining 5 there. And that would have defeated She-Hulk. And I would have won. So let me know actually in the comments below if you think that I actually did win and the doing the Grim rule here was a mistake, or if I actually lost. So this is a did I win or did I lose? And help me know guys in the comments below. It would really truly be helpful. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. This was a fun deck. This was a fun build. This was fun facing off against She-Hulk. We'll do Vision next time. And we'll see you guys in the next video.